So my question is, and I know you are not a trauma therapist, I want to be very clear about that. And I feel like you also have so much wisdom about the circuits in the body and how energy moves. So it feels to me like there's an edge where I want to stay on an edge where I'm feeling it, but not identifying and getting trapped inside it in a way that is not helpful. And I don't quite know what that edge, like how to navigate that edge.
Yeah. It's kind of like when different aspects of our being are active and awake at the same time, then that part of being able to meet that deep feeling where trauma can be, to meet that, the deepest possible helplessness, to be able to meet these things on a very, very extremely deep level. That is something we can do when these different aspects of our being are like active. So that's one way where we can do it, but it's fairly, it's almost like, why would we have a problem with allowing ourselves to just fully feel it without needing to take distance from it? I know it can be a lot, but I can tell you that I've had to navigate these waters, like, despite whatever else is like available here. I have deliberately chosen to jump deeply into the pool of these, because I've also had trauma in my life, and dealing with these trauma places, it's been something like revisiting, but not from a mental perspective. It's more like dealing with the wiring that it has given the body. So the deeper we feel, the more capacity we also get to feel. Like, with our capacity to feel deeper and deeper grows. And this is why this is arising in you now.
I can totally feel that's what she's saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay, you felt this much, now take some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of like all of that stuff which is connected to trauma, which is like, it's like we have to go through all of these layers to basically get into the very core wounding that we have on an essence level. Because it's like we have the core wounding, and then we have everything around that, which is like these different seeds of conditioning that are like just wrapping around, and like and all of the trauma and all of this. It's just, it's like a very complicated piece of fabric in a way. But the more that we handle and deal with these layers that rise and pop inside of the body, and feel these things, it's like that which is attending with compassion, that which is attending without preference, that is the birth of truth on a very deep cellular level. So when we're applying ourselves as love there, then it's like we grow more and more spacious on that bottom level. And that basically births the capacity for, it's like, if we can be with ourselves, if we can hold ourselves in these deeply demanding places, then we're born that much deeper, and we can move in the world from that new depth, basically.
When you say the different capacities we need, I almost feel like, maybe like there's not quite the wiring in me yet to fully meet this.
No, but you have to see that if this was the case, it wouldn't be appearing.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So don't worry about it. When I say this about the different capacities, I just mean that when you can be entering into these deep places where the trauma is active, it just, if you like that building of capacity, basically it can shorten the period. That's what it does. But we still have to go through the same. But it's like, for instance, the more love you have cultivated on a heart level, the more love you have to apply downwards when you're coming down. So it's like, that just basically means that the hollowing out, it just the periods where you have to pass in those quite painful states, they just shorten.